Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I posted a full-length video like this, but today I got to go to the Houston Police Museum where I got to see a bunch of cool artifacts dating back to the mid-1800s. Hopefully you'll enjoy my tour that I'll give through the police museum and find the items and different trinkets and uniforms pretty cool. Stay tuned. The first thing that caught my attention was this children's gas-powered police car. This was owned by a child who was diagnosed with AIDS in the 90s when the AIDS epidemic was at an all-time high. And he sadly died, but he had a great relationship with the Houston Police Department, and his father donated this police car to be on display at the museum. On a lighter note, here's this silly robot. I'm not seeing any sort of tags or identification saying what this robot would have been for, but I don't know. It looks like something that you would see at a McDonald's to me. Here's an 1877 Hopkins and Allen revolver that would have been used by a mounted police officer. And according to this card, the officer who used this particular revolver sawed the barrel off to make it more maneuverable while on horseback. And below the revolver are these come-along handcuffs, which I thought these were very strange. According to another index card in this museum, the only way these handcuffs would work is if the police officer using them were stronger than the suspect. But it didn't elaborate on how these handcuffs would have been used. So if you know how these style of handcuffs would have been used, I'd appreciate a comment on this video explaining. This is probably the most interesting item in the museum considering its backstory. This is a gas mask that would have been issued to Houston police officers in the 1940s during World War II in case of a gas attack on US soil. So according to this card, a police officer would have wore this while going towards Galveston because there was a lot of suspicion that the Germans or the Japanese could invade through Galveston. And it says that they'll have to go all the way from Houston to Galveston armed with their 12-gauge shotguns, submachine guns, in 1911s to fend off the Japanese or German navies until military support could arrive. Now just the visualization of police officers armed with 12-gauge shotguns trying to fend off the Japanese Navy is crazy to me. That definitely wouldn't go well for them. Here's some nightsticks that would have been used in the 1920s. You can see they have these detailed designs on the handles. And this one has a nice finish on it and a real detailed handle, along with a woven handguard, which I guess would have given it a better grip when an officer would have been using it on someone. And here's what's called a blackjack, which I'm not sure how this would have worked. I don't know if you would hold that as a handle and hit someone with this, or if you would put your wrist through this and hold the lower half of this part and then hit them with that. But it's very interesting. Here's some tasers. This looks like more of a modern one. And these are like old school looking tasers, a lot bulkier. Another pair of come-along handcuffs, and I think how these would work is a suspect would put their hands behind their back just like normal handcuffs, and then an officer would wrap the chain around their wrists, and they would hold these handles with one hand, and they'd have to control the suspect to get them to go wherever they need to go, hence come-along handcuff. I could definitely see where these wouldn't be very effective, because a lot of suspects would be able to overpower someone and break free of these because it just relies on the officer's grip with one hand. And here's a later version, which this seems like it could only get someone by one wrist because this doesn't look very big, this locking mechanism. And the officer would hold onto this handle to direct them wherever they need to go. And as the card shows, it wasn't very effective because the officer needed to be physically stronger than the arrestee. And this looks like more of a pair of what would be like normal handcuffs, but like in an older design. It's from 1899. Yep, and it even says works just as well as it would in 1899. And here's what looks like starts to become like a modern version of these. They got smaller. And here's some old police officer badges. Silver badge, unpolished. Oldest known detective badge, issued back in 1894. Very interesting. Here's a model 1921 Thompson submachine gun, chambered in .45 ACP. These were used by police in the 1930s against gangsters. At one point, the police didn't have these, but the gangsters such as Al Capone and John Dillinger did, which meant the police were extremely outgunned when they had to fight gangsters armed with these with their service revolvers. But eventually, the police realized that they needed to match firepower with the gangsters and ordered some Thompson machine guns on their own. Here is a Smith & Wesson tear gas launcher, which is .44 caliber and was ordered in 1931. So yeah, it's like, looks like it would have been like break action, and then you would have pulled a hammer back and then shot, kind of like a single action shotgun. Here's a display of all the police badges from police officers who died in the line of duty while serving in the Houston Police Department, starting in 1860. And one interesting thing I noticed is, let's see, that says 1939, and the next death was in 1946. So during the entire period of U.S. involvement in World War II, there weren't any police deaths in the Houston Police Department, which is interesting to me, I guess because maybe a lot of men that would have been committing crimes were serving overseas, but I'm not sure. That's just my theory. And also, compared to other years, it looks like there is a bit of a flare-up in police officer deaths in 2020. This one says 2020 also, which I'm guessing was because everyone was at home and, you know, jobs keep you productive. And the final one was on October 13th, 2021. Okay, I'm getting ready to wrap it up, but before that, I wanted to show you just this timeline of the Houston Helicopter Division. So it looks like the idea was first proposed in 1962, and then they were ordering some helicopters in 1969, so on until today. And here is a 1970s style police helicopter. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna show you the back. It's like that old school style helicopter. Here's this real stylish looking motorcycle police uniform that would have been issued in 1928. Here's a picture of two police officers wearing them. I don't know about you, but to me, I would think this would look pretty cool if I saw these two guys with these uniforms driving into the community. And on the other side is a female version of the uniform. And according to the information card, these are the only two suits of this variant known that are still in the public eye. Well, that's about all there is to show you at the Houston Police Museum. I hope you enjoyed seeing all the neat police artifacts that this museum has to offer. I have some more videos planned. I've been on a bit of a hiatus just because of college stuff and just having my mind on some other things, but I'm planning on getting back into it, making some videos that hopefully you'll enjoy. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.